What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into the rest of the week. So this is how we opened right here on the 30-minute chart. If we look here on the 30-minute, you can see 10's below the 50 on the call side. We flip to the puts, and we could see that the bears were losing this trend right here. And I told you guys, wouldn't be surprised if we did see that bounce, just because if we look here on the higher time frames, we had this 2-hour 50 SMA right here, which we rejected pretty much to a T over here. And then we also had on the call side, I told you guys we were sitting right around this daily 50 SMA on the call side. So this is a major support area, and even though we did close below it, we're still hovering right around it. So it's still possible that we do hold it, just like back in here, closed below twice, got back above, and right now we're still dancing around that area. And if we see a green day tomorrow, this is going to end up holding, and we're going to see a pretty large move higher, in my opinion, because this chart right here, it's very high time frame, and with how we look and when the daily chart gets across, usually it nets a pretty big move. So for the meantime, I do favor the upside until this chart does go negative. So until that 10 goes below the 50, I'm more biased to the upside, even though the market is neutral and we are still neutral on the market, because 10's below the 50. We did reject that 30-minute 50. Wouldn't be surprised if we did go and cross sometime this week. We do have FOMC coming up, I think, Wednesday, so market may not cross until then. But yeah, this is what we looked like today. So if we go to the 0-day chart, the move was to the upside, because we know when the 30-minute chart goes negative on one side, the premium, likely we see a move in the opposite direction. So since the put side was going negative, we were likely to see a move higher today. And that's exactly what happened. And how you could have caught this was right off of open. We ended up getting this nice little cross here on the call side. So not right off open, but at what time is this? 9:45. 9:50. A little bit after 10, we got the cross, and you could have entered probably on the 10 o'clock candle, and this netted probably over 50 points. I know it gave over 50 points, probably gave like 60 to 70 points. So that was the move right there. You could have caught it. I didn't give this out to the Discord, but I did try this 50 SMA dip, and it was a 10-point loss. So NQ was a bit weaker, so this bounce right here really wasn't much on NQ. It was probably like 25 points at most. And yeah, I took a starter position down here at the 50, and then I added as we got near this 10 SMA, and my average was I think like 10 points above where I initially added at. So wasn't too much of a difference in the fill, and because NQ was a bit weaker. And then once we started to close below the 50 right here, I got out because we are losing that 50 SMA. And the reason I bought this was because, one, the daily time frame, we're hovering around that 50 SMA, and two, that 30-minute chart on the put side was going negative. So that is why I bought the 50 dip, even though we were neutral. I go over this all the time. When this chart is going negative, you could buy that 50 SMA dip on the 5-minute chart on the initial negative cross. So since this is just going negative, it's okay to buy that 50 dip. Gave it a go, just didn't end up playing out. We did reject that 30-minute 50 on the call side, which, in hindsight, that's pretty much why we didn't hold. But, with how we looked on the higher time frames, I bought the 50 dip. It gave a bounce, but for some, again, NQ was just a lot weaker, so we didn't get that, like 40, 50 point bounce that I was hoping for. But, I'll take a 10-point loss any day of the week. That's super small in NQ, because our winners are at least 50 points. That's where I always, start taking profits at 50 points. And then, depending on the market, if we're neutral, take it all off at 50. If we're trending, then obviously I'm going to hold a little bit longer and try and sell for like 70 points for my first take profit, and then let runners ride the 10 SMA. So yeah, those were the two opportunities today. Again, that 0-day cross on the 5-minute chart, and then the 50 dip on the 5-minute chart were the two opportunities today. You would have been net green if you took both of them. If you only took the cross, you would have been paid. If you only took the 50 dip, you're only down 10 points. So, it was a super small loss on that 50 dip. And then this chart went negative. I wouldn't take this. It's not, with how far we are from the 50. I know the 50 turned down like right here. So, if you really wanted to, you could have taken that short. But with how like the higher time frames look, again, I wouldn't. I'm not going to take that negative cross. So, yeah, that's what we did today. Going into tomorrow, this is what we look like. Again, 30-minute chart. What does it tell us? It tells us that we're neutral, because the 10 is below the 50 on the 30-minute. The 50 is the blue. The 10 is the green. 10's below the 50. We're neutral there on the call side. And then same goes with the put side. 10's below the 50. We just went negative on these today. There really wasn't too much of a move higher from the negative cross. When we did get that like initial move down, so wouldn't be surprised if we did go higher. And then again, we're sitting at the daily 50 SMA on the call side, so I still do favor the upside. We're gonna have to see how we open up tomorrow, but again, if that daily chart goes negative, then most likely we'll see a move lower. So pretty much going into tomorrow, look for a cross on either side of the premium, because we still are neutral. Even though I do favor the upside, I'm gonna play what I see, and if we get a cross on puts, I'll take the put cross. If we get a cross on calls, I'll take the call cross. So it's a pretty simple game plan going into tomorrow. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub if you guys want to learn. Join Discord down below. It's where all the trades are shared, all of the knowledge on the systems in there. And also, I'm going to go over one more thing. I'm not going to go over exactly how to get these contracts, but two really good looking setups right now to the upside on individual stocks is Amazon and Nvidia. These are super bullish looking charts. Yeah, this chart right here is super bullish on Amazon. 10's going above the 50. This is kind of a new variation of the system for like longer term swings. These, you'll be holding for multiple days at a time just because it is on the daily chart. And you can see 10's above the 50, 50's curling up hard. We got a closure above the 10 today. I mean, this looks really good. And then obviously we could use the weekly as a resistance point, but there's no 50 SMA. And again, we're holding this 10 SMA. This chart looks really bullish. I am swinging some calls on this just because it looks really good. I'll show you an example of what the cross playing out looks like, but another one is Nvidia, another really good looking setup. Pretty much all the tech stocks are looking super bullish. 10 above the 50, 50's curling up. I mean, these charts are super bullish. And if we look at the weekly, there might be a 50. Okay, there's not a 50 on here, but eventually, some of the charts will have those 50s, and we could use the 50 SMA on the weekly to gauge how far this is going to go. But I will give an example of Microsoft. Look at this cross right here. I mean, this is what I would imagine Amazon and Nvidia are going to look like. Look at 10 above the 50, 50 started to curl somewhere in this area. At that point, this is just like playing a normal cross on the 5-minute chart. If we get the cross, you wait for the 50 to curl, it curls, wait for the dip to the 10 to get your best entry. And look at these contracts went, let's say you didn't buy right at the 50. Let's say you got to fill around like 3 to 320 on these contracts, and these are currently at highs of 1185. So I mean, this way of trading the system could probably give really crazy gains, and you don't even have to be on the chart too much. All you have to do is just use your stop at the 50, below the 50, and then these are multi-day, multi-week holds because this is super high time frame on these charts. So maybe one day I'll go over in depth how to do that, but I know guys in Discord, you guys kind of understand probably how to get these charts already. I know Colton talked about it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how well this way of trading the system goes. I think it's it's good for people that aren't really going to be able to be on the charts 24/7. You don't really have to monitor it too much because you're going to be trading for their expiration, and these charts take a little bit more time to play out since it is on the higher time frame. So yeah, those are some really good looking charts, and how hopefully Nvidia, the chart looks exactly like this, where we could get a really big move out of it. A couple 100% would be great. But yeah, that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. Again, join the Discord if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.